Hey everybody, Travis Clater back with another strategic thought for the day. Now, today's strategic thought is about wasting content. I see it happen all the time and it is hard to watch. For example, a publicist spends a ton of time and resources on a media pitch. They spend a couple of weeks pitching the story of this incredible idea that they've come up with and put a ton of resources into, only to get no responses or no bites from media that they're pitching. It happens all the time, especially as traditional media stories are get harder and more complicated to secure. But what often happens is that media pitch gets filed away only to appear as a note in a monthly report or a year-end summary of activities. All of that time spent coming up with the idea, having discussions about it, getting it approved, and writing the content just wasted. Yes, it's used as a touch point with the journalist, but it can be used for so much more. And this happens across all types of content that I see created. I talk frequently about integrated communications, and that's what this is all about. It's not about a specific piece of content, but more about the idea and the message of the content and how you integrate that across your communications channels. Now, when you take a myopic view of your content, you aren't able to step back and see the different ways that you can use that content to further your communications efforts and your campaigns. And it really boils down to this. You thought the idea behind the pitch was good enough to spend the time and the effort creating the pitch. And you thought that idea supported your brand and made sense for your campaign. So why not use that idea and adapt that pitch to be used across your other communications channels? That same pitch, for instance, can be adjusted and turned into a blog for your own channels or for your website, and that can then be crafted into social media posts and maybe even used for paid digital efforts. Really, the idea is that it takes a lot less time to just adjust your content and tailor it for your specific audiences or your channels than it does to come up with a brand new idea and start the process all over again. You did the work initially to come up with the idea, so make it count. Find ways to integrate the message into your channels and tailor that content for the audiences that you're trying to engage. Then you can look at ways to enhance, after you do that, you can look at ways to enhance that content and focus your energy there. For instance, just an example, go back to that media pitch, take that idea, turn it into a blog for your own channels, and then perhaps add an infographic or visual element to further engage your audiences. Or take that initial idea, and if it has enough legs, turn it into a white paper that you can use across your acquisition and paid media efforts, or even chop it up and use it for shorter, more interactive videos about the idea or about the content, or find ways to pull in your audiences with user-generated campaigns or user-generated UGC plan around the original idea, or even use it in newsletter content. The number of ways that you can use content are only limited to how creative you can get with how you want to use it. But whatever you do, just don't waste that content and don't waste those resources and that effort. And there's your strategic thought for the day. Make sure you check out tcstrategic.com for more posts as well as to sign up for our newsletter. And we'll see you back here again soon.